What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, this is where we talk about the news topics that happened in the scale world of RC over the past week. If you enjoy the Scale News Update, hit the like button and let's jump into this week's topics. First for this week, it's just another kind of oddball body that I ran across. It's actually a touring car body, but it's from a company called Aplastics, which I know I've seen them before, but I don't run across them all that often. But they released a new Subaru Forester body. It's again, one of those cars you just wouldn't expect to see. So when you do see it, kind of cool. Now this is made for the standard kind of touring car sizes, probably most likely to be used on something like a drift car. If you've never seen Aplastics before though, you can go check out their website. They've got a ton of different body types of vehicles that you just don't see as often. They have El Caminos and G bodies, Datsun pickups, a DeLorean, tons of different bodies. So if that's a scene that you're into, if you're thinking about building a drift car or have a drift car and you want to change up the style, maybe Aplastics has an option for you that will pique your interest outside of the normal options you may be used to seeing. Next, Traxxas, and I'm wondering if we're going to see a regular public release of what was previously sold under the Snap-on 6x6. And the reason that I'm wondering this is twofold. One is that recently they were awarded a patent on the ornamental design of the vehicle. So just the overall style of it, they commonly do this with their vehicles, but that 6x6 has been out for a really long time. So the fact that they just did it now makes me wonder if they're going to fully release that. And two, they also released those previously sold under the Snap-on name with the hot rods that they released for the Factory 5 stuff. So I'm wondering if we're going to see that Snap-on 6x6. Those had been selling for big money on the secondary market because you couldn't just go into a store and buy them previously. So I'm betting that we're going to see this 6x6 model become available here in the somewhat near future. A couple months back, we talked about a teaser from Tamiya that they were going to release the Toyota 86 on one of their platforms, and it looks like that is now finally available. At the time, I think that they were showing two different versions. Maybe one was going to be the Suburu, the other was the Toyota. At this point, I only see the Toyota being fully released. I would expect that the other version would be shortly behind it, but maybe that's going to be slightly more delayed than the Toyota version. So if you're a fan of that platform, here's an option from Tamiya. Obviously going to be a very well done body on a very common and often used platform. Last week, we talked about a teaser from FMS and that 1/12 Suzuki Jimny. Now that we've gotten full details on this week. FMS reached out and got all of the details on this. Now it is packed with scale detail. It's a hard body. It's got things like removable top and opening doors, a full interior, the movable seats. It's made in 1/12 scale and made to fit 1/12 scale figures, it says. It's got working lights that are switchable. It's solid axle front and rear. There's a realistic engine bay underneath of the opening hood. It states things like metal gears and all kinds of photo etched details on the body. One thing that I noticed though, and this is a 1/12 scale, so it's a smaller vehicle, but in the actual details of this, it says that it uses a 180 sized brushed motor, which that's 1/24 scale size. So I'm really wondering if that's correct. I would have expected at least a 380 size on this brushed motor, but I'm not totally sure. We'll have to see. That could be one major downside to this platform, but who knows if there's a possibility to go to a larger size motor to try and make it a little bit more drivable in more technical terrain. It looks like you're going to be able to order these soon, but it may be worth seeing these once they get into some people's hands and seeing what this power plant is really all about. Unless, of course, you just want it for the looks. And then today, Redcat released the new 1/8 scale Marksman. Now, this is what looks to be a new body setup on the Wendigo platform, which was a Gen 8 chassis and then had a larger straight axle underneath of it, very similar to a Wraith or an AR-60 axle from an Axial. On top now we have what is a Jeepster Commando style body. It's got a molded cage, it's got some molded details on the front, and overall tries to pull off the style of a Jeepster Commando without specifically saying what it is. Another interesting point to this release is that it is using a Holmes Hobbies brushed motor inside, as well as a Hobbywing 1080 ESC. Now, Holmes Hobby, this is the first time that I've seen their motor. I'm pretty sure it's the first time ever. Their motor's OEM'd into an RTR model. And then the 1080 ESC. While Hobbywing makes ESCs for a ton, if not most of the RTRs out there, this one specifically is carrying the Hobbywing name. Now, in the past, Redcat has used other names, specifically Hobbywing, in releases of their previous vehicles, like the Gen 8 Axe Edition. But now they're adding Holmes Hobbies to it. It looks like pre-orders are going to open for this vehicle fairly soon, but the release isn't for quite a while. It looks like it's expected to be in September. Like we said, it looks to be the same platform underneath that the Wendigo kit had, but this now has a different style body. So if this body really does it for you, the Commando body, not something that we've seen released in the market before. Definitely one of the more oddball body choices, one that I do like, but again, not one that's going to be everyone's favorite style. But regardless, it's just another body choice with different tires on that same platform that we've seen released previously. For you 1.9 wheel fans, Vanquish is now offering the Method 105s in the bronze color. This is the only bronze wheel from Vanquish that's available in the glossy finish rather than the more matte style that the other bronze wheels come in. Also, the 105s are a wider wheel, just like we talked about with the release of the gold Method 105s previously. So if bronze is your color, 105s were your favorite, an easy option. And while talking about rolling stock, we'll move right into PowerHobby's releasing 3 new tire options for SCX 24 or 24 scale owners in general. They released 3 different tread patterns, all with a 1.0 inch bead. These are available in the MT10, the Swamp 24, and the Defender. 3 different styles, but all of them available now. I'll link to them as well as all of the topics that we discuss in today's news in the description below. And since we've talked about wheels and tires, now let's talk about foams. Club 5 released this product called Revolver Foams. And I think that they're just trying to find places to put brass. It is tire foam with brass slugs put in it. I don't even know what to say about it. If you were out of places you thought you could put brass, someone has come up with a different one. Replacing the foam that comes with your tires is almost always a good idea when you're selecting the right foam. I can't see how this falls into that. For you low C LMT owners, Bauhaus RC is now offering a low CG electronics tray. This is just a clean little solution to lower the electronics in your low C LMT to try and make it a little bit more stable. This also would pair well with their low CG battery tray that we talked about a couple of months back. Both of these are available now, like the previous stories, also linked in the description below. For you drag racing fans, Proline teased today the release of a new Pinto body. That's right, the Ford Pinto. They're releasing they released a single photo with the Pinto caption. I hope that it's the wagon. I want to see the Pinto wagon be available. I doubt that that's the one they're going to choose, but I can hope. Seeing Pinto no prep cars, I'm fully on board with this decision. I think that it's a great idea. Can't wait to see everybody's use of this body specifically. Waiting to see more info on this one from Proline. Hopefully it comes soon with full pictures of all angles of this body, and please make it the wagon. For any of you looking to build custom drag cars, we talked about that builder's support kit that Associated was releasing a few weeks back. That is now available, so you can pick that up. It's basically just the suspension and gearbox components, and then you can pair that with the custom chassis of your choice. Just makes shopping a little bit easier. This was mainly released for the dirt oval racers, but still works for no prep racing. So if you're looking to build a custom no prep, then maybe check this one out, see if it kind of fits the bill for what you're trying to build with whatever chassis you may be looking at. And speaking of custom chassis, Drag Race Concepts does have the Works Edition for the Associated B6 available now. This is kind of a full spec chassis kit. This has a huge list of parts that it includes. I'll link to where you can read all of the details about this in the description below. He does also offer the non-Works Edition, which doesn't include nearly as much. Maybe you have some of the parts already and you don't need to buy them twice. Then you can also purchase that option. Both of those linked separately in the description below. Axial Fest is coming the end of this week. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are the days. Donner Ski Ranch here in Northern California is the location for Axial Fest. So if you're planning on making it, hopefully you're deep in prep, getting your vehicles ready, any of the gear that you plan to take out on the trail. So far it looks like the weather is supposed to be nice. Fire danger, pretty high. Make sure you're extra careful as far as that goes. Be safe and just take extra precautions. For those of you that are going, hopefully I'll get to say hello to as many of you as possible. But I do plan on doing daily uploads from Axial Fest Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays. For any of you that aren't able to make it, just sharing my experience of the event. But with that and me being there, that will of course mean that there will be no Friday Night Live. Wednesday live takeover with Matt though will still be on. But with that, that's gonna do it for the news topics for this week. For this week's question though, it's been a wild year. Not as wild as 2020 was. Somehow every week there's enough news that I'm able to do this show, which is amazing to me that we have enough going on in the scale world every week where I'm able to put together some sort of news show. What I want to hear from you guys is what has been your favorite release of the year? What's your favorite new part or new truck? Whatever it was, could have been in January or it could have been today. I want to hear from you guys. What's been your favorite release of the year so far? But with that, as always, I appreciate you guys watching the Scale News every Tuesday. Hit the like button if you enjoy these videos. Subscribe if you're not already. Hit the notification bell so you see the videos as soon as they get uploaded. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.